Hey, hello. Let's talk about factions in Fallout 4 because, I just got done playing that game. The playthrough of Fallout 4. It was mediocre. I was gonna say it was good, but take it or leave it, honestly. No, it was good. It was fun. Very fun game. I enjoy it quite a bit. And I have many things to say about the factions in the game. Many things. So, this is gonna be one of them videos where I talk about my opinion on things, which I'm gonna give you a little tale of caution before we get going on this, okay? I do not care for these type of videos, okay? The type of videos, that has like some bold statement and impact font on the thumbnail. This is like something, I don't know, like, is Jaime Lannister a bad guy? Or something like that on the thumbnail. I hate those videos, okay? I am a classic I'm a 90s man, alright? I agree with the attitude that everyone, opinions are like assholes, everyone's got them and they all stink. I am an absolute subscriber to that line of thinking. And at the same time, I'm still gonna do this because I said I would. And it's one of these topics that kind of is where my mind will drift off to if I have nothing better to do. One of those type of things. Or like one of those things that where you're laying in bed and your mind sort of drifts and you start thinking about these things. Like it's gonna be the factions of Fallout. What they contribute to the I wrote this down. This is how professional this is. I wrote stuff down. So it's gonna be one of those videos. Okay, what the topics are: what do these factions do for the Commonwealth? How do they deal with the Institute? And then what happens after the Institute? Okay, so in this video, it's taking me 2 minutes to get to the crux of the matter, but this video will be me discussing these topics about the Minutemen, the Brotherhood of Steel, the Railroad, and the Institute, and how I kind of don't like any of them. To be perfectly honest, I don't care for any of them. And so pretty much I'm going to beef on all of them, and I'm probably going to make a lot of you folk mad. So you know what, if that's the path we're going to go down, let's just go head first. What's gonna piss off the most people? The Minutemen. Okay, listen. Before we get started, I like the Minutemen. If I'm playing Fallout 4 for funsies, I will probably roll with the Minutemen for the Minutemen ending. For the sole reason that I feel like they're a bunch of drunks. Everything they do feels like it was the idea of everything they do was born out of a bunch of dudes getting drunk one night. It's like, I don't know. Those Dex. I hate them. Yeah, I hate. We should get together. We should get our laser muskets. We should go help Selmas within like a minute. What would be the name of us? Should be Minutemen! Yes! This is when I think of the Minutemen, that they're all a bunch of drunkards, and it's probably not far from the truth. I mean, we went over this in the playthrough, but Sturgis? Power armor mechanic Sturgis? That guy? Can just build a teleporter somehow. I don't know. I'm assuming like a power armor mechanic is slightly above a motorcycle mechanic. So the jump from slightly above a motorcycle mechanic to building teleporters is quite a leap, is all I'm saying. And I don't think that leap is possible without there being a lot of alcohol involved, is all I'm saying. I think a lot of booze is involved to make that leap. Oh, what's this? Teleporter plan. Give me the rum, honey. I'll get this. No Y's involved. Whatever. That's why I like the Minutemen, okay? I feel like they're all drunk. That's why I like them. But let's get real. Alright. They are idealist. You feel me? And the post-apocalypse, the nuclear post-apocalypse, is not an ideal world. Alright, what's their mission? What do they do for the Commonwealth? Point A, what do they do for the Commonwealth? They help settlements. Alright, they protect settlements from raiders that attack and steal stuff from honest, hard-working settlers. That is what they do. They do it within a minute. Hopefully, within a minute. But the problem is armaments. Okay? A defense force needs armaments. They're basically a militia, right? And they're armed with laser muskets. They're saying, well, they could get better things. Yeah, but they need funding to get better things. And how do they get their funding? So an occasional settler will give Preston Garvey, I don't know, a few caps. Maybe, I don't know, some scrap metal. I have no idea. I honestly never checked Preston Garvey's inventory. It happens, right? You go to a settlement with Preston Garvey, you hang out sometimes, and a settler will give Preston Garvey some things. I've never checked his inventory, actually find out what exactly these people are donating to the Commonwealth. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably not enough to fund a proper defense force to defend against, oh, I don't know, those guys that killed the Minutemen off that one time, the Gunners. The Gunners take what they need, and that's why they can afford power armor, they can afford good guns. They got like plasma rifles, junk. They got good stuff. They got the laser guns. Friggin' Minutemen got laser muskets and pipe pistols. It's not gonna work. I'm sorry. I like the Minutemen. I like them and all. But they're too idealistic. They need to, I don't know, demand some tribute or something, which is totally against the whole credo. You know what Preston Garvey would say if you were like, alright, listen, our protection comes at a premium nowadays because, I don't know, all the raiders and the gunners and the jerks out there trying to kill you are way better armed than us. So maybe instead of, I don't know, giving us the caps you found underneath your couch cushions, you actually provide us with a premium so we can provide our services without dying, you know? And I don't see the Minutemen doing that. Not Preston Garvey's Minutemen. Plus, I hate Ronnie Shaw. You remember Ronnie Shaw? That lady that trains up the Minutemen that won't curse? Oh, God, darn it, we're the Minutemen. We're gonna teach those jerks who bust. Okay, if you're gonna fire up the troops, fucking cuss. Do not say gold, darn it. God damn it. I'm just saying. So whatever. I'm sure. Actually, I wrote more stuff down. Yeah, I think I covered it all. Oh, also, the whole idea of the Minutemen, which is, it's novel, the idea of the Minutemen to protect settlements. But this is playing whack-a-mole, right? You're not providing the raiders with an out. You feel me? Like, you can protect settlements, and you can drive off raiders, but you don't stop the problem at the source. This is just gonna make a smarter raider. You know, the way the Minutemen are doing it. They're not gonna stop any raiding with this plan they have of getting to a settlement within a minute. It's not gonna stop them. It's just gonna make smarter raiders. You know, it's not, you're playing checkers when you're supposed to be playing 3D chess. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. If you want, okay, and one more thing before I'm done ripping on the Minutemen. Okay. There is a dialogue from the movie Seven Samurai, which It's a very good movie. You should watch it, by the way. If you don't want to watch an old school black and white samurai flick, you can watch Magnificent Seven or any other movie involving an adjective and 7, sometimes 8, whatever. They all ripped off 7 Samurai. Anyway, there's this discourse that this one samurai has. He's kind of a samurai, but he was born a farmer, so he's not technically a samurai. Whatever. He has this discourse about farmers, bandits, and samurai. His name's Kikuchio. Kikuchio. Yeah, that's his name. Which is basically settlers, raiders, Minutemen. Settlers are the farmers, raiders are the bandits. They're all... I would advise listening to that. But he's basically saying that, you know, this militia that is the pool, or these settlers that are essentially the pool for the Minutemen, they're made up of settlers, right? And settlers, what do they fight for? They fight to protect their stuff and to make their lives slightly better, right? And so that's not going to solve anything beyond making their lives a little better, and you can't expect it of them, right? So I guess that's sort of where I see the Minutemen going, you know, at post-Institute. Like, after we dealt with the Institute in the game, they don't seem to want to help rebuild humanity, right? And maybe I'm giving them enough credit. Maybe, I don't know. This is just what history sort of teaches me, that you can't expect people to fight beyond making their lives a little better unless you, I don't know, put out some other motivation like patriotism or I don't know, some sort of weird ideal. You need to build up some sort of propaganda, and the Minutemen don't really have that. Once again, too idealistic. They would not propose anything that would sort of some sort of false motivation in order to get the Minutemen to be more than just a militia, a defense force, whatever. So that's my thoughts on them and how they deal with the Institute, the Minutemen. We didn't go through this in the playthrough because we didn't finish with the Minutemen. If you don't know, we finished with the Railroad. But whatever. We'll discuss that later. The way the Minutemen deal with the Institute it just seems so dumb to me. Once again, which is also why I kind of like the Minutemen. They feel like a bunch of drunkards to me. Sturgis was just pouring through the data in the holotape that we retrieved from the Institute. Like, look, there's a pipe. It's totally pipe in the Institute. We should go down and kick their ass. That's it. That's the grand plan. Go to the pipe, teleport. Someone's down here. We'll be drinking while we wait, of course, because we're the Minutemen. That's what we do. And you zap us in there, and then we'll shoot some folk, and yeah, thumbs up. Everything will be good. We'll blow it up, and then drink more, because we're the Minutemen. Damn it. Once again, I like them, but they're kind of ridiculous. Can we move on? Let's move on. If you're still watching, thank you very much. I'm glad you're still listening. And I can't stress enough, I like the Minutemen, but they're just ridiculous. Okay, anyway. The Railroad. Now, as you know, as I mentioned, I finished the game with the Railroad, but that was mainly because I feel like it's the canon ending to the game of Fallout 4. I don't much care for them, honestly. Like, if you don't roll with the Railroad, but you still do missions for them, like, Glory is still there. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't watched the end of the Railroad campaign. I'm kind of gonna spoil it for you. Glory's still there, but she has no more dialogue, which kind of makes her kind of dead, which always bugged the shit out of me. Plus, in order to finish with the Railroad, you have to do a lot of stuff for the Institute, which is sort of a way to show off a lot of what the game has to offer, which is why I chose it to end the game with them for the playthrough, just because it shows off a lot of stuff. But honestly, the railroad, they are a shit show. They are. What are they doing? What are they like? Make this claim, right? That they're like one of the only organizations that holds back the Institute from taking over everything. What do they do? They're like, okay, you're inside the Institute. Do everything they want until they force our hand. And we did. We basically do everything for the Institute up until we're like, okay, we have to do something because they're seriously going to take over now. And if they were truly like this sort of subterfuge, I cannot say that word, I don't know why, subterfuge sort of organization, shouldn't they be doing sabotage? Right? You can maintain your cover as a secret agent and still sabotage the enemy. We did nothing of the sort. Nothing. And I understand from like a gameplay, game developer sort of point of view, it's to show off. There's sort of a progression of everything that has to. The game progresses in such a way where you have to do certain things, blah 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 blah. And in order for the railroad to work, you kind of have to do Institute stuff. But in reality, in the real situation of it all, why can we not sabotage these people? Seriously, they tell. Okay, that one lady tells you to go get the beryllium agitator for the nuclear power plant that the Institute wants to build, but you're still working the railroad. Why can't we, I don't know, friggin' put a bomb in it or something and completely avoid the whole shooty revolution bit? I mean, it's cool. I like the shooty revolution bit that happens with the railroad. It's the most likely outcome for the end of the Institute. But why are we not sabotaging them? My God, it's so dumb. I don't know. It just drives me crazy about the railroad. And like when you're not doing battle with the Institute, the rest of the time you're just checking up on safe houses and seeing, oh no, the Institute destroyed them. Next mission, go check up on this safe house. Okay. You check up on the safe house. Oh, the Institute destroyed it. Okay, that sucks. Check up on this safe house. Oh, and that's how like all the railroad quests are. They suck. They're just like, oh, we got shit on. That's fun. Let's report back to Desdemona. Yeah, we got shit on. Next. Okay, go check on this one. Oh, we got shit on. That's not fun. It's not a fun mission. I don't know. I don't care for the railroad either. I don't care for any of them. So, what does the railroad do for the Commonwealth? Not much. They're just all about synths. So, that question you can't really go with. How do they deal with the Institute? Honestly, the railroad ending is probably the most likely end of the Institute. It's the one that makes most sense, okay? You get the synths together in the Institute, organize a rebellion, start the battle inside, take the teleporter in with the railroad homies, pincer attack, we take over the Institute, blow it the F up. That makes sense to me. Of all the three outcomes for destroying the Institute with the Minutemen, the Brotherhood, and the railroad one makes the most sense to me. Okay. Although they don't have much competition because the Minutemen one is just ridiculous. And the Brotherhood one, we'll get into that later. But after the Institute, what does the railroad do after the Institute? Hell if I know. Keep helping synths. They don't really do anything to rebuild humanity. And isn't that the goal? I mean, I don't know. If you're locked up in an icebox and you get unthawed 200 years later and your head is still filled with pre-war ideals, wouldn't you want to rebuild humanity? I always thought that was the point of Fallout 4, was rebuild humanity. The whole settlement system sort of leads that way, I guess. But maybe not necessarily. And I don't think the railroad even have a dog in that race. I don't think they care about humanity at all. Which is, I don't know. I think they're just all about synths. So I wouldn't rely on them for any sort of humanity rebuilding at all. So whatever. I like the railroad. I finished the game. I'll finish the game with them for funsies occasionally. I'll still take the railroad or the Minutemen if I'm playing for funsies. But for the playthrough, yeah, I did for Outward. I'm not a big fan of them, though. I won't lie. Let's move on. The Brotherhood of Steel. How can you like those guys after what they did to Paladin Dance? Seriously, how can you like okay, I understand they were cool. They were real cool in Fallout 3. Well, they were pretty cool. But Fallout 4, they are damn near worse than the Institute. I swear. Okay. Here's a question. And our good friend, what's his face from the Nuke World gangs brings this up at one point, I'm pretty sure. What's his name? The dude with the mohawk? We killed him, I know. Did we turn him into Soylent Green? I think we did that too. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's the follower from... Put it up on the screen. There you go. Thank you. He's the follower you get from Nuka World. He mentions... What's the difference between Raiders and the Brotherhood? I mean, they both sort of forcefully take... Well, the Raiders aren't subtle about it. They just take supplies from settlements. The Brotherhood appropriates supplies from the settlements. So, it's an argument of semantics over which one's better or worse. They both do the same thing. The Brotherhood hates super mutants, hates ghouls, hates hates synths. They hate anything that isn't human. So, I mean, that's a winning strategy for any war. I don't know if you know this, but when technology is sort of at the same levels between sides in a war, usually the deciding factor for whoever wins that war is numbers. Like the number of people in the army, or ghouls, or super mutants, or whatever. And if you're hamstringing yourself by being exclusionatory, is that a word? It is now. Exclusionatory about who you accept in your army, you are just setting yourself up to fail. That is how the Brotherhood operates. They are setting themselves up to fail with their stupid ideals. Is the honest to God truth. And I don't know. Here's a thought I also had about the Brotherhood. Okay. What is the greatest weapon in the nuclear post-apocalypse? I want you to think about that for a sec. What is the most powerful weapon in the nuclear post-apocalypse? You might be inclined to think, well, the nuclear bomb. Sort of, I guess. The nuclear bomb did end the world. But I would like to argue something different. There are groups of people that are resistant against radiation. Ghouls, right? Not only are they resistant against radiation, but they drink that shit up. They love it. It heals them, doesn't it? Right? So, maybe, here's a thought, the greatest weapon you could ever have in a world where ghouls exist would be a cure or a vaccine for ghouls to keep them from going feral. I mean, if you do that, you basically add all those ghouls within your ranks. And tell me, what's the biggest population of I'm inclined to say humans, but that's not really the case, of beings in the post-apocalypse? It's ghouls by far. There's more ghouls than anything out there, right? There's more ghouls than super mutants and bandits than people. There's way more ghouls than half of them. If you get a vaccine or a cure for ghouls going feral, my God, you just built up your army so crazy, and they're resistant against radiation damage. Your previous greatest weapon, the nuclear bomb, it's just a regular bomb at that point. Well, granted, it's a very big bomb, but one big aspect of a nuclear bomb is radiation damage, which doesn't hurt ghouls. So you get some scientists working on a cure for ghouls going feral, Bam, you have an instant weapon, but you will never see the Brotherhood do that. You will never see the Brotherhood do that because they just want to kill ghouls, and that's so dumb. Which, by the way, arguably, Curie is the greatest weapon you have in your own personal arsenal. You know, the medical science, biological science robot, girl, lady, person. She's arguably the greatest weapon you have. Just saying. So, yeah, the Brotherhood sucks. I think we can all agree on that. From Fallout 4. Anyway. And how they deal with the Institute is dumb. We didn't go with this in the playthrough, but I'll tell you what happens. Spoilers if you haven't played the game yet. You know that big stupid robot that they've been working on? Working on super hard? Yeah, they take it out, and the robot starts spouting a bunch of American democratic propaganda as it marches through the streets of Boston, and then it just like throws a nuke, like a football, at the top of the CIT ruins, and that's how they get into the Institute. It's really stupid. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. So, yeah, I don't like the Brotherhood. Plus, after the Institute, after they take out the Institute, if they took out the Institute, they would have an army to be able to rebuild humanity, sure. But once again, they're being too exclusionatory. I just don't see it happening. Right? I don't see it. I mean, humanity has been remade after the post-apocalypse. You gotta include normal ghouls and super mutants in the equation from here on out. I mean, that Pandora's box has been opened. You can't close it. I mean, maybe you could get rid of the super mutants, but you're talking genocide, man. That's genocide. That's terrible. So yeah, not my America. Not my Brotherhood of Steel. Get out of my America is what I say. Okay, we haven't talked about the Institute yet, though. The Institute's dumb. I don't know why. Well, okay. I will give the Institute this much credit. They do one thing that's beneficial for humanity. One thing. They make a better melon. They do. They accomplish making a melon that's bigger than average. Something normal farmers have been doing for millennia. They managed to do it by splicing melon and super mutant cells. So they do that. I will give them that. And that could, if applied to other foods, they could feed a lot of people. So yeah, the Institute does that. That's it, though. I mean, when you talk to Father at the Institute, right? He talks about how the Institute is humanity's best chance at rebuilding society. But he doesn't really go into details. I think you really get a lot of details from hanging out with X688. Did I get that right? I think it's X688. The coarser dude you hang out with is a follower. He really gets you savvy to what the real plan of the Institute is. They want everyone to die out and replace everyone with synthetics. It basically go all autocratic on everything, right? Single, everything is ran by scientists, right? And if any of the synths that have replaced humanity get out of line, they just, press a button. Synths turned off, wipe the memory, make them complacent, put them back into the society, and, not my America. That's all I'm saying. Not my America. I value free thinking. So, that's just me. I don't know if you agree with me, but yeah, I think people should be able to think for themselves. And, the whole slavery thing is not cool, right? Synths are people, too. Don't enslave synths. I know you made them, but just don't. Dicks, just don't. I will admit also that the way they deal with the Brotherhood is fantastic and it's very logical. You know how the Brotherhood uses the big robot to take out the Institute? Well, the Institute just hacks the robot and then fucks up the Brotherhood with their own robot, which is a stroke of brilliance, really. If you ever want to finish the game with the Institute, that is what they do. And that makes absolute sense. You will also earn the scorn of all of the followers in the game if you finish the game with the Institute. You feel like a dick. Plus that one Mayor McGuffin, I already forgot his name. He stays as mayor of Diamond City, and it's just, I hate that guy. He's such a dick. So, yeah, I don't care for the Institute. I don't care for them one bit. So I've beefed on all of them, on all the factions. But I would like to give positive criticism instead of just shitting on everything, okay? I find this is a good practice. So, what would Grim want for his end, his ideal end for Fallout 4? What would take all of his buttons, or take all of his boxes, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna throw this out there. You may not like it. You may not like it. And before I drop it, I want you to sort of get into the mindset that maybe morality is a construct made by those with power to subjugate those without. Chew on that for a little bit. Okay. Now that we're all in the weird mind state where morality isn't that cool, how about them Nuka World Raiders, though? Am I right? Yeah? Okay, hear me out. Nuka World Raiders. What do they do for the Commonwealth? Okay. Let's just get it out of the way right now. Yeah, they take from settlements. True. They enslave people. True. They send them through gauntlets where they usually end up dying against their will. True. They do all of those things. But when you actually go out into the Commonwealth and start taking over settlements for the Nuka World Raiders, they post guards at each settlement you take over. And these guards are well armed. They can actually protect the settlement. It isn't one of those, we'll call you and some people will come, like the Minutemen. No, they are posted there. And it's not just like shit on the settlers. No, it's an investment. They're protecting their interest. Right? And it's protection. And they're taking from the settlement what they need to remain armed. They are an actual good protection force that is viable for protecting against attacks from raiders. All the things the Minutemen should be doing, the Nuka World Raiders are doing, minus the whole stealing from settlers. But I mean, okay, what's the difference between stealing from raiders and taxes? Or stealing from settlements and taxes? They call it tribute, we call it taxes. Honestly, what's the difference? I don't know. I don't really know. And the whole, let's address those downsides I just mentioned, by the way, because I feel like I just glossed over those. You know how the raiders will enslave people with the explosive collars at the Nuka World, right? I'd like to mention this. When you take out all the raiders in Nuka World and you free those traders with the explosive collars on, what do the traders do right after you liberate them? They stay there and keep trading. It's like you didn't even need the collars at all. You don't need collars, explosive head exploding collars on people when they're already being subjugated by the mighty power of the bottle cap. Okay? Or whatever currency you want to insert into the bottle cap. Whatever. I'm saying is they have incentive to be there. It's not enslavement if they have incentive to be there. So the whole collar thing is totally unnecessary. And the gauntlet, okay, the gauntlet's stupid. We can all admit the gauntlet's stupid. And as overboss, I would absolutely outlaw it. Unless some young upstart raider wanted to usurp the overboss. And, strike up the ancient tradition. I will venture through the gauntlet and then 1v1 the overboss in order to claim the new mantle of overboss or whatever. If you want, it's sort of like, I don't know, trial by combat, I guess. It's archaic, but whatever. If that keeps the raiders in line, fine. Whatever, I'm cool with it. What else did I mention? I don't know. The raiders do a lot of messed up things. But at the same time, they protect the settlements. They absolutely protect their interest because they're invested interest, right? This is a practical reason to want to side with the Nuka World Raiders, and I wish you could finish the game with the Nuka World Raiders, but you can't. But they make the most sense. Plus, you know the whole problem with the Raiders, the whole whack-a-mole problem the Minutemen have with the Raiders, where all they do is defend, and they're really just only breeding smarter Raiders. Guess what? If you could finish the game with Nuka World Raiders, right, in the ideal world, or in the world that I envision of Fallout 4, you have an out for those raiders that are raiding settlements. You could be like, okay, you, raider, that wants to raid Sanctuary Hills, listen, you can have a go, but there's like turrets all over the place, and these dudes protecting my shit, they're armed with these 7.62 assault rifles. They're gonna mow you down if you come at us with a bunch of pipe pistols, son. So here's your options. You can A, have a go, or B, get on the payroll. You already have a recruitment program. My God, you could recruit raiders. They're working for you now. And with those additional raiders, you could actually form an army and start conquering and rebuilding humanity, which isn't that the whole point? So what I'm saying is, I wish the Nuka World Raiders was a viable ending to the game. Because it makes the most sense. If you really want to, rebuild humanity, you have to reconquer it. You gotta reconquer it with an army and with diplomacy, ideally. But, I mean, diplomacy works a lot better when you have a big army. Let's just face it. And so, it just ticks all my boxes. These Nuka World Raiders, man. Not the disciples, though. Can we just agree? You gotta roll operators and pack. Those disciples, they're not the way to go. Okay, have you seen where they live? I mean, that is a health hazard. They got like blood and gore all over the place. All of them have to have every form of hepatitis out there. And some new mutated post-nuclear apocalypse forms of hepatitis, like hepatitis F or something. I don't know. That's not cool. Get them out of here. But the pack and the operators, especially the operators, by the way. Like, you know how I mentioned, like, the greatest weapon you could have is a cure for ghouls going feral, or a vaccine? Like, which faction is going to provide, Curie with some assistance with finding that out? Not the Minutemen. you gonna get Sturgis to do it? I'm surprised Sturgis could build a teleporter. Is he gonna get a cure for ghouls? No. Railroad, they don't have a dog in the race. Railroad don't care about nobody but sins. Brotherhood? No, they're not doing it. They hate ghouls. Institute? No, they hate everything that they don't control. Lizzie Wyeth of the operators, though? We didn't talk to her much, but she has her fingers in some science, man, some bioengineering and stuff. She could absolutely be on the whole, overboss bioscience division of the New World Order, whatever it's called. It's a working title, okay? New World Order is not a good title. We'll workshop it, don't worry. Anyway. So what I'm saying, I want a Nuka World ending. There might be a mod for it, I don't know. But in an ideal post-apocalypse Grimboo's world, if Grimboo's was running the show, Grimboo's would get a bunch of raiders together, start taking over settlements, have them paying protection money, get some guns together, get working on some advanced science, get the ghouls under our wing, subjugate people through the mighty power of the bottle cap and not these stupid explosive collars, get rid of that gauntlet, take over America again, get the whole, freedom, justice, equality ideals of pre-war America back in action. Yeah. Thumbs up. Vote Grim for president of New America after they drop the bombs, which probably isn't far off, but if they do, I'll be on the ballot. Don't worry. Can I be done? Okay, I think I've been ranting for like 40 minutes straight. I think I can be done. I think I've voiced all my opinions on this. Okay. Next time, let's play some Fallout 4. Let's just play it, not talk about our opinions and stuff. Okay? Okay, thank you for listening. You are lovely, wonderful people. I will see you next time. Bye.